Okay, let's unpack this. You know that feeling, right?
Which one?
You meet someone, you really hit it off, have this great conversation, and then maybe a day or two later you see them again and their name just, it's gone. Poof.
Oh, yeah.
Vanished.
Totally vanished. It's that, universally awkward, slightly embarrassing moment.
Yeah.
Makes you want the ground to swallow you up sometimes.
It really is. It's one of those common social things that makes us all sort of cringe a little bit. And that exact situation, that's what we're diving into today.
Good.
Yeah, our mission for this deep dive is really to explore this common snag. We're pulling insights from a really rich dialogue that's all about how people genuinely communicate. Everyday English.
Right.
And we want to extract those key phrases, communication insights, and maybe some practical strategies, things that help you sound more natural and, navigate those tricky moments with a bit more grace.
Sounds very useful.
Yeah.
And our guide today is this short, very relatable dialogue. It's between Nick and Anna.
So they met at a conference maybe last week, had a really interesting chat apparently about foreign investment.
Right.
And now they've just bumped into each other again. Completely unexpectedly, like in Nick's neighborhood.
Ah, okay. So picture this then. Anna spots Nick first, and she opens with a really casual, how's it going?
Nice and simple.
Yeah. Nick's a bit surprised, asks, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here? And Anna tells him her office is right around the corner. They mention, how great it was to meet at a conference, enjoyed their talk.
And here's where it gets, well, relatable. The real human bit, with all the awkwardness.
Yeah.
Nick, he's clearly in a bit of a hurry, offers his business card, says they should definitely meet up again.
Okay, standard stuff.
Right. And then he asks, you still have my contact details, right? And then in the moment he goes, you know what, this is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Oof. Yeah.
Oh, that just hits home for so many of us, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, I think, about this interaction is Anna's response. How she handles it.
How so?
Well, she's incredibly empathetic.
Yeah.
She immediately reassures him, says something like, oh, don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too.
Ah, that's brilliant.
Completely defuses the situation.
He really does. You can almost feel Nick just sort of relax. But I wonder, is there ever a time when maybe playing down the embarrassment isn't the best way? Or is Anna's response just like, perfect, a masterclass?
Well, I'd call Anna's response a masterclass in what you might call active empathy.
Active empathy.
Yeah. She doesn't just brush off his embarrassment. She actually normalizes it. She even shares her own vulnerability, saying, I'm terrible with names, too.
Right. Makes it okay.
Exactly. It creates this psychological safety. Nick feels understood, not judged. And that's such a powerful tool in, well, any social interaction, really, not just forgetting names. It teaches us that acknowledging these, shared human flaws can actually build stronger rapport.
That's actually, that's quite a profound takeaway right there. So, okay, let's dig into some of those specific language bits. The things that make this conversation sound so natural. Starting with Nick's phrase, in a bit of a hurry. What does that really signal?
In a bit of a hurry. Yeah, it's simple, really. It just means you don't have much time or you're moving quickly.
Okay.
In the dialogue, Nick uses it when he says, look, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. It's a polite way, really, to signal that urgency without being too abrupt.
Okay. So it softens it.
Exactly. You hear it all the time. Things like, can you drive faster? I'm in a bit of a hurry. Or someone on the phone saying, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Right. Or maybe at work.
Yeah, like, I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I'll check these files later. It's just a really useful phrase for politely excusing yourself or explaining your haste.
So if I understand it right, it's basically a polite flag for I need to go soon without sounding rude.
That's it, precisely. It softens the directness. And speaking of exchanging information, what did Nick ask Anna for right after he remembered he forgot her name? Or rather, right before?
He asked if she still had his contact details. That's another good one. What exactly falls under contact details? Is it just a phone number?
Usually it's a bit broader. Contact details is really the essential information someone needs to get in touch with you. So yeah, name, telephone number, email address, mobile number.
The stuff on a business card, basically.
Exactly. The kind of info you'd typically find on a business card. It's a very common kind of professional way to refer to that bundle of information. So Nick asking, you still have my contact details, right? Is a very smooth way to check.
Makes sense. And then the phrase that just perfectly nails Nick's embarrassment, slipped my mind. It sounds so Human, natural. What's the deal with this idiom? Why is it so useful?
Slipped my mind.
Yeah.
That's a great idiom. It just means something was accidentally forgotten. But what's powerful about idioms like this isn't just the literal meaning. No, it's how they offer this sort of polite, culturally accepted way to admit a common mistake. You don't sound careless. You don't sound overly formal.
Right. It's like a social lubricant.
Exactly. It builds rapport by, again, acknowledging that shared human fallibility we talk about, like Anna's response did.
Okay. Can you give a couple more examples?
Sure. Like, I'm really sorry I forgot to respond to your email. It just slipped my mind.
Okay, I've definitely used that one.
Or imagine this. Don't you know what day it is today? Oh, it's your birthday. Oh my gosh, it completely slipped my mind.
Yay, okay. It really just means you accidentally forgot, no bad intention.
Precisely. An accidental oversight.
Okay, so we've looked at some key phrases, but what about those smaller words, the little bits that just glue the conversation together and make it sound natural? Let's add some of those to our toolkit, like around here.
Absolutely. Those are crucial.
Yeah.
Around here, yeah, it simply means close by or in this neighborhood. Very common. Nick uses it really naturally when he asks Anna, do you live around here?
Simple enough. And our source material mentions some variations too, right?
Yes, and they're really useful for sounding, authentic. Like right around the corner.
Meaning really close?
Yeah, really close, like on the next street. Or just a stone's throw away. For instance, oh, there's a great little coffee shop right around the corner.
Got it. And the other one?
Around there.
Which is slightly different. It means near a specific place you might have already mentioned or that's understood.
Okay.
Like we were talking about Los Angeles, a great city. I used to live around there. See? Near that place.
Ah, okay. So around here is near me. Right around the corner is very near me. And around there is near that other place we mentioned.
You got it. These little variations really help you sound more precise and natural in conversation.
Okay. Next phrase for the toolkit. Terrible with. Anna uses this one, doesn't she? When she tells Nick, I'm terrible with names too. What does that phrase really convey?
Terrible with, yeah, it just means being bad at something or not very skillful at it.
It's super common, often used in a self-deprecating way, to admit a weakness lightly.
Like Anna did.
Exactly.
Yep.
Other examples. You're terrible with numbers. You can't even remember your own phone number. Or maybe, I'm terrible with directions. I'm always getting lost.
Oh, tell me about it.
Or I'm terrible with faces. I can never quite remember what people live like.
Okay, I totally get that last one. And I have to confess, I am genuinely terrible with numbers. Seriously, adding 2 plus 2 sometimes feels like advanced calculus without a calculator.
I know the feeling.
And I also have to admit, sometimes I'm terrible with faces too. I see someone, I know them, but the face,
Yeah.
it just doesn't click for a second. It's awful.
It really does happen to the best of us, honestly. Okay, moving on to our Fluency Builder insights. Let's talk greetings for a sec.
Okay.
We mentioned Anna's opening line to Nick was simply, how's it going? Why is that one worth noting?
Well, because it just sounds more natural, doesn't it? More casual than maybe how are you or how are you doing? It's just very common, very standard, informal greeting. So yeah, next time you bump into a friend on the street, try using it. Hey, how's it going? It instantly makes the conversation feel a bit more relaxed, more authentic.
Definitely more casual. And speaking of authentic, let's maybe get into some real-world strategies, for handling those moments when a name just blanks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I actually have a story for this. It's happened a few times, obviously, but the most embarrassing. It was at this huge family reunion years ago.
Oh, dear. The dreaded reunion.
Exactly. So many aunts, uncles, cousins, people I hadn't seen in ages, and I completely blanked on one of my uncle's names. Totally gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I had to sort of sidle up to my cousin discreetly and whisper, hey, who is that guy over there? And he's like, oh, that's Uncle John. I was so mortified.
What'd you do?
I didn't know what to call him. So for the rest of the afternoon, I just called him Uncle. Hi, Uncle. Need anything, Uncle?
Haha. That's a classic family reunion survival tactic, I think.
Definitely felt safer than guessing wrong.
Absolutely. And while that works perfectly fine for family, maybe in a business setting, it's a bit different. My go-to trick there, it's usually just to ask for their business card directly.
Ah, clever.
Yeah, it's an easy, pretty natural way to get their name right there in print without having to explicitly admit you've forgotten it.
Smooth.
Or sometimes another tactic is I might ask them to write down their email address for me. Could you just jot down your email? Usually their full name is right there in the email address or the signature they might add.
Ooh, that is clever. Another discreet way to retrieve it.
Exactly. little tricks of the trade.
Those are definitely clever strategies. I can see how the business card trick especially would save a lot of blushes. Have you ever seen them backfire, though? Or what if you're not in a business setting? Like a party or my family reunion where asking for a business card would be weird. What then?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, in purely social settings, business cards are usually out. So it becomes more about adopting, I think, the Anna approach we talked about.
Owning it gracefully.
Yeah, owning it with grace. Something like, I'm so sorry, I'm terrible with names. Could you remind me? Just being upfront but polite. Or if there's a mutual friend nearby, a discreet, hey, could you reintroduce us? Can work wonders.
The wingman strategy.
Sort of. The key, I think, is just to be genuine about it and try not to overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Honestly, most people are pretty empathetic because, well, it happens to everyone.
That's true. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's sort of wrap this up. What does this all mean for you, our listener? We started this deep dive with that really relatable moment, right? Forgetting someone's name. And just from that simple, everyday chat between Nick and Anna, we've managed to unpack some crucial phrases. Things like in a bit of a hurry, contact details, and of course, slip my mind.
Right. And we also looked at those natural conversational builders like around here and its variations and terrible with. And we highlighted the casual charm of a simple greeting like, how's it going? And what's really fascinating here, I think, is how these little linguistic pieces all fit together. They're not just vocabulary lists, are they?
No, not at all.
They're tools. Tools for navigating social dynamics. So we haven't just learned maybe some new ways to express ourselves, but hopefully we've also gained some practical strategies, ways to handle those awkward social blunders like your Uncle John moment or, the business card trick. Understanding these nuances, it isn't just about padding out your English vocabulary. It's really about gaining confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, confidence in social interactions, being able to communicate more smoothly, and maybe even turning potential awkward moments into, opportunities for genuine connection, like Anna did.
Precisely. It changes the whole interaction.
Exactly. Which I guess raises an important question for you, the listener, to maybe think about. If understanding the language around a really common embarrassment, like forgetting a name, can be this illuminating, what other subtle communication cues or maybe other universally awkward situations might we be overlooking?
That's a good question.
Yeah, things that, if we understood them better, could maybe unlock even richer, more authentic connections in our everyday lives. Something to mull over.